Hello all, long time no see. I hope everyone's doing well. I myself am surviving. Been off the grid for a couple of years, so I thought I would do a video and say hi to everyone. This is my Counterphobic 6 group, and this video is intended mainly for my group. So I wanted to talk a little bit about it, a little bit about sixes, and say hi to everyone that I haven't talked to in a while. The reason I created the group is because I feel like we're underrepresented. I feel like there are other groups that cater to all the other types, even sixes, but there isn't really a group that caters to us counterphobic sixes. So that was another reason I created the group, especially being that, as many of you know, we love underdog causes. I feel like we ourselves are an underdog cause. So, hence the reason for the group. And there was a couple of things that I wanted to talk to about being a six in general, but especially a counterphobic six. I think it's rough. I think it's rough being our type. People don't understand us. We try to be nice, and if we can't be nice, then we just completely become brazen. I know I myself struggle between being really nice to people or, I would say, really off-putting and letting them know blatantly that they are crossing the line and that they need to back off and leave me alone. So I'm a big fan of the Enneagram. I'm also a big fan of other sociology like MBTI, archetypes. MBTI wise, I'm an INFP, and archetype wise, I'm a rebel. So, I definitely feel like I fit the stereotype on that. There's one thing I want to do, it's burn down the world and change it. I see a lot of things wrong. I see a lot of injustice. I see a lot of things that bother me that need to be overturned. So, as far as being a six goes, I think the hardest thing for us is living with the constant anxiety, jitteriness, and fear. That's probably our weakest point. I think it's a strong point for us too, because it enables us to be aware of danger. It enables us to be aware of potential hazards, fear. And because of that, I think that we tend to take things seriously. And I think we're really great people for security and to have around for planning worst case scenarios, because that is how our mind tends to go anywhere. As a counterphobic six, you tend to take these things on. As a phobic six, you tend to avoid them maybe too much. You tend to be a little too avoidant. You evade, you escape, and you evade too much. Now, with a counterphobic six, I know myself, I have to watch out for the opposite. Because people take people take my introversion as kindness or timidness, and sometimes it can be, but what they really don't understand is that I'm also watching you. I'm also sizing you up because I'm very cautious. And a lot of times the counterphobic sixes can go too far the other way with trying to combat things, because I know a lot of times we can jump the gun. We can really jump the gun. I kind of feel like a six in general is a personality type with a gun behind its back while they're talking to you, sometimes even pretending to be your friend. Oh, hey, how are you? Oh, good, man. How's the family? Oh, yeah, everything's been great. And a lot of that comes from our fear. And there's something that I wanted to kind of point out about that I've been thinking about. Hold on 1 second, my computer. Something else I wanted to point out about that is that Our fear doesn't come from a general distrust of that person in particular. I know a lot of you that deal with us sixes probably have this same scenario that we don't trust you. You get mad at us because you don't trust me. Well, it's not that we don't trust you. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we don't trust man's disposition. People are imperfect. People go through things. People hit their head and they change. There's a lot of craziness that happens out there. And we really don't put that past anybody or anything, including ourselves. So I feel like we have a very real fear of things not going well. And that fear really comes from the world around us. It isn't really a normal world. It really isn't a safe world. So that was a couple of things that really highlight us. And I know Nathan Nelson, who also identifies as a counterphobic six. Hey, Nathan. Um, we were talking about how to deal with a lot of the angst and a lot of the anxiety. I know that you, as a counterphobic six like me, you really tend to freak out about stuff and you can't just shut off your brain. And this stuff really drives you crazy to the point of aggression. Well, I can't really make any promises because everyone's different, and I'm not a doctor and I'm not claiming to be one. But I will say this, Nathan. Um, ashwagandha. I've been taking ashwagandha about once a day, and all I can say is that while it hasn't changed me fundamentally, it's been better than any medication I've ever been on. It has really knocked the edge off. So, helps me to sleep. It helps me to not jump to 10 when something happens. So instead of jumping to 10, I jump to 5. And that at least is manageable enough for me to say, okay, well, hold on a minute. Let's try to process this situation instead of react to it. Because I really think that one of the worst things that counterphobic sixes do, and I think a lot of people will agree with me here that are around us, is that we react. We don't really process, we don't really handle a situation as well as we might just react to it. So that was one thing that has helped me. Spirituality is another thing that's helped me. And really just knowing myself. Knowing myself is a big thing to me. And that could be an INFP thing. I don't know. But, so there's that. And, I wanted to say hi to all of my friends in the Enneagram world and MBTI world. Hey, James Fauntleroy. Miss you, man. Haven't talked to you in a long time. I hope you're doing well down in Orlando. Claire, hope you're well. And Benjamin, hope you're doing well too. I think you do a lot of brilliant work. My advice would be keep up the great work and don't get too big-headed. It's easy for you to do. I think. Also, like I said, want to say hi to Nathan. Want to say hi to Sumi and everyone else that's part of the Enneagram world. If I've missed any names, forgive me. I'm bad with names. And I hope everyone's doing well. So, anyways, that was my hello. And I will talk to all of you later. See you around and be safe.